Hey guys, this is Tom from Numbers Game Lifestyle, and today we're going to be talking about how women are awesome. And the reason I have to make a video like this is because a lot of guys on the internet that give dating advice, give relationship advice, give getting laid advice, they often have kind of negative views towards women. It almost seems combative on the advice that they give. And yes, even some of my advice sounds kind of combative when I tell guys, not to do all the nice guy things like complimenting women, buying them things, doing whatever they say, being like the yes dear man. Now, it sounds kind of off-putting, and it sounds like, you're giving negative advice towards men about women. Who hurt you? I've even had girlfriends, when I'm doing relationship advice towards guys, I've even had women, girlfriends say to me, like, who hurt you? Like, what made you have this view about like women? And I'm like, no woman has hurt me. No woman has ever really treated me badly, dumped me, cheated on me in my entire life. And it's because I don't do certain things. I avoid the pitfalls that most guys fall into. And yes, a lot of the time it involves treating women, not like princesses, but treating them, at least like equals. You're going to put yourself first. You're going to lead the relationship. So yes, you're going to put yourself as the number one priority, but you're still going to care for her emotions, needs, and wants and everything like that as well. And that's what being a good leader is all about. But yes, a lot of the times women will complain that, like, who hurt you? Like, what made you give such like rough advice? And then I tell my girlfriends, what do you think about this relationship? I don't see you complaining. No, I'm like, is this the best relationship you've ever had in your entire life? And they have to admit, yes, it is the best relationship they've ever had in their entire life. To be honest, it's the best relationship that she will ever have after I'm gone and, out of the picture. Never have a comparable relationship to the relationship that we have. And that is because I refuse to become the beaten down workhorse that does whatever a woman wants and doesn't put his foot down. And that only comes from, pre-selection, from abundance. You only get that ability to do that once you have abundance. When I look back of all those things, the great things that women have done in my life, the stuff that they've bought me, stuff that I've never asked for. I never asked women for anything. And they've bought me trips around the world with them, going on vacation around the world. They've bought me computers, TVs, phones, you name it. I've never asked for any of it. And they take me out on dates all the time. When you allow a woman to chase you and you refuse to chase her, that is the relationship dynamic that really gets women off. When you refuse to chase and they chase you, that is the best relationship that she will ever have. And she will reward you for that by treating you great without you even having to ask for it. But most men are unable to hold themselves back from chasing women. So yes, women are awesome. I've never understood the guys that have complaints about women. Either you have no experience with women, so really you're just angry and bitter at yourself that you can't get women. That's a lot of guys. And there's other guys that get into relationships with women, but then they get treated like shit, right? They get treated like shit. They get dumped, cheated on, bossed around, nagged to death. And that is not the women's fault. Okay? That is your fault for being in a relationship with a woman like that and allowing yourself to become, beaten down, cheated on, doing whatever you can to hold on to this woman that clearly treats you like shit. And so when these guys are complaining about women are terrible, they'll leave you, they'll cheat on you, the common denominator is the guy. If you're having all these problems with women, the common denominator is the guy. And You can't blame all women for all your problems with women. The common denominator is you, so you have to fix those problems. And as soon as once you understand all this and you live in abundance with women, women are going to treat you amazing. They're going to be like the biggest boost to your overall lifestyle, and you don't even have to think about it. Like, I don't have to waste energy like worrying about women or anything like that. You have to understand what women like. A man, they all say they want the guy that kisses their ass all day and does whatever she tells him to do. They're not in relationships with these guys, at least not long term. It's only a matter of time before they become bored. They look for a replacement, look for someone better, more exciting, more attractive. And so you cannot trust what a woman wants in a relationship. What a woman wants is strength of character, strength of mind, strength of body, and someone that leads properly, knows how to lead. And you get that through abundance and experience. Yes, doing all like the wrong things, like, not doing whatever she tells you to do, it irks them. It does bother them a little bit. But in the long run, it only makes them more and more attracted to you. That's why, like, the women in my life don't complain. They're just maybe like, oh, like, I wish we'd spend some more time together, or I wish you were a nice guy. Like, I wish you would buy me, do things like that. Like when one of her friends, her boyfriend's buys her something. I wish you'd do something like that for me. At the end of the day, that means absolutely nothing to her compared to what you can provide to her from a place of strength. The one time that I did feel like negative towards women was when I was mad at myself. And just a quick intermission here, guys. If you could like, comment, or subscribe, that would do me a huge favor because the YouTube algorithm loves that stuff. Thanks, guys. I was mad. I was struggling with, approach anxiety, struggling with scarcity, not seeing very many attractive women. And when I do, I'm like, oh, there's an attractive woman. And then I see her at a grocery store or at a shopping mall. And then 5 minutes later, the boyfriend shows up. And like, she's with the boyfriend. And I'm like, filled with rage, filled with like, man, it's such bullshit. Like, it's so easy for women. They're never single. And what I realized was I wasn't mad at women. I was mad at myself. Mad at myself for not doing what I knew I should be doing. And that is taking my shots, going out there and approaching women, maybe getting rejected, maybe not. But I was mad at myself that I was too afraid to go for what I wanted. And approach anxiety would build up and I wouldn't make the approach. And I'd be so angry at women, how easy they have it. But man, I was just mad at myself for not having the balls to do what I needed to do, which was approach women and face rejection. And yes, I think that's why a lot of guys have negative views on women. They know what they should be doing, but they can't. They've got a mental block that prevents them from going through with it. So they have tons of pent up frustration and tons of like anger towards women because they have it so much easier than we do. They just have to sit back and wait. Yes. And that is why like a lot of guys will have negative views towards women, and a lot of guys that maybe have a little experience with women, maybe they've been, in relationships, they got dumped, divorced, cheated on, whatever. And they carry that like burden around thinking like all women are like that. No, if all women are behaving like treating you like shit, the common denominator is you. And it's because of your behavior that causes women, either you really pick terrible women, which is another thing, another problem, or you just let yourself become abused in relationships, which is very common. Guys are just live in such scarcity that they just let themselves become abused. And most women will take advantage of you if you allow them. If you're just like the sweet little guy that never puts his foot down, yeah, they will, you give them an inch and they will take a mile in most cases. But guess what? If you don't give them an inch, they will give you miles. They will give you so much, as long as you have a backbone to stick up for yourself. And yes, they will give it to you without you asking for it. You know, they just want to please. And that's what is so fantastic about women. And once you master these like relationship skills and refuse to chase women, man, they'll be chasing you till the day you die and treating you amazing. And that is the great thing about women. I've got no complaints with any of them because I don't allow women into my life that'll cause me problems, you know, that make my life difficult. I boot them out, which is exactly like how every other guy should. If a woman is giving you trouble, you boot her out and you find a replacement. That's the name of the game. So you should never be angry at women. It should just be like, oh man, like that girl didn't work out. I'm going to go find one that's a lot better than that. I really have no sympathy for guys that are like, you know, are all angry about women, whether they don't have any experience or whether the experiences that they do have are all terrible. In either case, it's your problem, and it can be fixed, but it is going to take some effort. It's probably going to take some balls at the same time, but it most definitely can be fixed. And then you can leave like your whole dating life, your whole relationship life. It runs on easy mode. It runs on autopilot. You never have to worry about this stuff again. As soon as you build up enough abundance, enough experience, it's just like, it's so easy. You know, it's fun. Relationships are fun. They should be like adding to your life. Girlfriends, whether it be casual or serious, should be adding to your life, adding to your whole life experience. Never be negative. It shouldn't have any kind of negativity in your life. Anyways, guys, if you need help doing this, having amazing relationships with women, you know, whether that's casual relationships, getting laid a ton, or serious long-term relationships where you can, you know, have women in love with you, obsessed with you until the day you die, you know, I can help you do that. There's coaching links down below if that interests you. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Thanks for watching.